Welcome to the Cour the Grange Diaries. I'm Capella from Ryan, British author and screenplay writer. So this is the second video of today, and I wanted to dive straight into the Christmas because, like I said before, it was the worst Christmas of my entire life, and there's quite a bit to cover in this one. So preceding Christmas, for weeks, I had the worst anxiety, and my husband Colin was trying to calm me down and said, you're panicking yourself, you're panicking, and I'm like, Colin, doesn't matter how beautiful this meat turns out for Christmas Eve dinner, there's going to be something wrong. There's something going to be nasty that's going to be said, unnecessarily so. And I just said, I'm just preparing myself for it. I just know in my gut there's something that's going to be said about it. And sometimes I just wish my gut feeling was wrong, because sure enough, drama imploded on Christmas Eve. So what happened then was Anne's daughter decided she wasn't going to come. After all the plans had been made, after they had bought in a whole bunch of food and alcohol, so they weren't going to come. So instead of us doing the Christmas Eve dinner, Anne wanted to do the Christmas Day dinner. And I said to Colin, no, I'm not. We were given instructions to stay out of the way. We weren't to show our face because we weren't worthy of meeting her daughter, and her daughter didn't find it necessary to pass herself with us, and we were given our instructions to stay out of the way. And I'm like, no, I'm not being demean like that, and I'm putting all this effort and into a dinner and feed everybody that is making me uncomfortable and being rude and unnecessarily so, when I've been nothing but courteous and kind and caring towards these people. No, I'm not spending my Christmas Day with them. I do not want to spend Christmas Day. So Colin backed me up and was like, you're absolutely right, and we didn't deserve to be, spoken to like that or treated like that or given those kind of instructions. It's beyond compare. I don't know how you can compare that to anybody else being told don't speak to my daughter or don't stand up to her. So I was kind of like riled about that, because I was like, no, I'm not spending Christmas Day with somebody like that. And then we're the fallback plan. We're like, oh, well, my daughter's not coming, so I'll spend it with you instead. No, I would never subject anybody or demean somebody like that. So no, I'm not going to be demeaned like that, and I'm not going to put 12 hours into food and then still be mistreated like that. And it's such an important time of year when I love Christmas so much. So no, it's just too special to me. So anyhow, Christmas Eve came. I did all of my Christmas cooking, got up early that morning, spent the 12 hours cooking a meal, and had the worst anxiety. And I said, Con, this isn't going to turn out well. And he's like, just don't be going in with that kind of mentality. It might be a really nice time. And I was like, okay. So I went in trying to suppress some feelings, anxiety of what the hell is going to happen now and get on with it. So I'm only going to have two small glasses of wine, because I don't want to have too much alcohol on me. I don't want to sit there with a grumpy face. I just have 2 glasses of wine, just enough to stay composed if anything does happen. So we have dinner, and of course the pompous self, she's cooking, and the next thing she burns the first course. So I go and help see if I'm scraping off the burnt crust and everything, and helping her, and then helping her serve. I'm like, Tom even said, well, you're the guest, why are you helping? I'm like, yeah, I know. Because I was like, oh no. And she's the type of person, oh, I'm not going to touch anything. She's pointing to me, well, you do this and you do that and you do that, and just stands back giving her orders. And I'm like, is it your dinner party? I'm the guest, and you want me to serve everybody? What is the point? What is the point in that? So I helped her anyway, out of courtesy, because she did burn stuff, and she was getting a bit forgetful because she was engrossed in conversation. Then after burning the first course, and I tried to help her, next thing then we're in conversation before the second course, and Todd had asked me, well, what's happening with my work, and I was doing something with Hennessy, or trying to do something with Hennessy, in part of my movie, trying to get them to be investors. So he wanted to know all about it. And I was like, no, this is my moment. This is all about me. No, this is my moment. And took over and literally hijacked Christmas Eve. And I was like, Tom said, well, okay then. And because she wanted to tell a story about her grandmother, who was her inspiration, who was some cook in a private house years and years ago, like in 1800 something. And she was like, no, this is about me. This is about me. And screamed in front of everybody that the moment had to be on her. Everybody's attention had to be on her. So I just left, and I didn't even speak anything about my work, didn't talk about anything about it. And I was like, God, this is not going to go well. And this was like really early in the evening. This was like probably within a half an hour, 20 minutes, half an hour of being in there. So then that happened, and then the next thing then, we're sitting down to the starter at the actual table, and the next thing Barbara wanted Prosecco, but her and Simon bought this massive bottle of Prosecco, and she wanted to have a drink of her own drink. And she, can I have my Prosecco? Can I get my Prosecco? And I said, well, no, you have to wait. You have to wait, and I'll get it to you later on, because we're doing this now, and then we can do whatever. We can have your drink whenever we're finished with my plans. This is how I plan Christmas, right? So Barbara said, oh, okay then. So 5 times. And this is why I'm a little bit angry now with Barbara and Simon, who I really absolutely liked. And I knew I really liked him. And that was why she was raging when we went out for lunch a couple of times, or actually once before Christmas and then after was for New Year's. And she was furious that we got on really well and we were actually spending that time socialising without them. And I even give Barbara a hat of mine, because she always complimented my hats, and she was looking for hats, so I give her a hat because I liked it that much. But what she didn't know was I stood up for her 5 times on Christmas Eve. I was talking to her like she was a piece of dirt, and she's at the time she was 95, I think she's 96 now, a 96-year-old woman, 95-year-old woman, just being like, oh, you'll get it whenever I'm going to give it to you. You just sit there and this is my plans. Nobody's ruining my Christmas, and it's totally all about me. And this is what some kind of bug in my hair. Ah. But anyway, moving on swiftly. So I defended Barbara 5 times, and I never said anything to Barbara because she's an old woman and she's not well. So I never wanted her to be that. Like, I didn't want her to be stressed out or uncomfortable in her own home. She'd only just arrived here, so I kept to myself. But I was the one that was thrown on the bus, because later on in the night, when Barbara asked again for the Prosecco, I went and said to I went to say to Anne, where is the bottle of Prosecco, because things that moved right in the kitchen was a mess. And she goes, it's over there. And she goes, why? Barbara wants Prosecco, so I'm going to go get her the bottle. Oh, no. She sent me out to the shed in the blazing wind, rain, and bitter cold, because she was like, no, she's not having that Prosecco. It's too big of a bottle anyway, but she'll not know the difference. You go out to the shed and get a smaller bottle, because I'm keeping that big bottle until my daughter comes, and then we're going to have that big bottle whenever she comes with the family. So she gave me the instruction to go out to the shed and bring in another small bottle. She goes, Barbara be none the wiser. She's a bit senile anyway, because she's 95. She'll not have a clue. And took advantage of that poor old woman, as well as committing theft. So I go out to the shed, and I'm not trying to get the face. Now I go to the shed, and I was like, had every intention of telling Simon after the fact, but I was trying to let the evening go past quietly and peacefully. And I was like, you pig, absolute pig. Who does that? Who doesn't to anybody? Never mind an old person. And she's in her 70s, like Anne's in her 70s herself, and she's prepared to take advantage of another elderly person when she would complain about younger people taking advantage of her. And I was like, you absolute just low life. And I come back in, but I cut my finger, and I was bleeding, and I was wearing a white fluffy white jumper and a white blouse, so I didn't want to get blood on it. So I'm sitting while everybody's talking, and I'm not speaking to anybody. I'm just literally just staying out of the conversation, because I'm like sitting there seething about the way in which Anne was conjuring up how to take advantage of Barbara. And I'm sitting there like licking the blood very discreetly, and Tom goes to me, what's wrong with you? Why are you licking your finger? What's wrong with your finger? And I was like, I'm bleeding. And even I looked at Simon and Barbara, and their faces were like, oh well, like, because he was very confrontational about it. And that wasn't actually my word, that was Simon's word the day after it all happened. And he says, straight off the bandwagon, Tom was really confrontational. It was like he wanted an argument. So he had started out, he had opened that floodgate and escalates it, and then says about don't get Tom angry with you again. Like, don't get him angry with you again. He's going to get really angry. And that was because I confronted them weeks before about how they were treating me and how they were speaking, and I wasn't going to take it anymore. But he wasn't angry with me when I was there, so he must have been angry with me after I had left. But he was not angry with me. He didn't raise his voice at me. He wasn't happy with me, but he didn't project anger or fury when I was there to my face. Oh my god, bugs everywhere. So she had asked me and then scolded me, and not only scolded me, it was like giving me that word, don't you go there. And I'm like, I'm licking my finger. I have every right to lick my own blood if I want to lick my own blood. I'm trying to be discreet. And the next thing, and she was like, just went straight at me, and I went back at her because I was like, no, I told you weeks ago, you ever start with me again, I'm going to defend myself. You have no right to, one, have like scold me in public, scold me the way that you've just done, and warned me to not go back at somebody that has opened the floodgates and attacked me purposely, because it was everybody's opinion there that was a witness, that he did this purposely and wanted an argument. Sorry, there's another bit of dirt in my head. So he purposely wanted that to happen, and was drunk as a skunk, completely escalated, and went, she just seemed like a banshee, her whole face changed, and it was like, just don't you go there, don't you say anything back to my husband, that kind of way. And I went back at her and she did not like it, and then she comes over trying to like placate me, putting her arm on my shoulder. Oh, she's just so sensitive, she's just a precious little sensitive thing. And even the way she said that was trying to appease me, but it was still trying to give me a good old scold and a slap in the face. I'm going to leave this one here because I'm over 11 minutes. I'm going to continue in the third one because there's still a good bit more to say and cover over Christmas. So I will see you in a mo.